My brother painted me as a wicked sister who stole everything from him. So I ruined his life by letting his wife know that he blew his inheritance away and was drowning in debt. I have 2 siblings, Mason and Brittany. Our mother passed away recently due to late-stage cancer, leaving us with a lot. My siblings each got more than $150,000 in money, sentimental but expensive items, and furniture. I did not get the money. I received the house, the land, and some items, the house and land, which had been sold off bit by bit over the years due to Mom's declining health and inability to properly tend to it, is worth far below the $150,000 my siblings received weeks past, and I finally felt like I could start doing things to the house. Now, I did say the house was dingy. It's not worth $150,000, but the housing market is crazy. So I thought it was a bit of a luck. It needs repairs. The roof, the chimney, the water heater, some pipes, the doors and windows for heating purposes, and everything inside is so darkly painted or made of wood that just sucks out all of the light. As I started going through everything in the house, which had specifically been left to me as stated in the will, I began finding things. Money is in books, and there are so many books. Money taped under beds, money folded into the fancy sheets, money hidden in the teapot, and cups that had been passed down in the family, which we had never been allowed to touch, in fear we might break them. I found jewelry in different boxes, hidden in the attic, the vents, in sock drawers. Some of it was so gaudy, it had to be costume, but I put it all together and took it to be appraised. The worth of the jewelry is nearly half of what my siblings got. Even the would-be costume jewelry is worth something. Even now, I'm still finding things. I found antique items, fancy watches, untouched clothing and bags with price tags still on them, belts and shoes still in their boxes. All of this was tucked away, apparently hidden, and not talked about. Some of the clothing still had receipts, and since neither I nor my sister can wear them, I took them back to see if I could get the refunds or started selling them online since. Again, everything left in the house was specifically left to me. I took the cash and used it to help pay for the immediate repairs, and it almost covered the whole thing. I looked through the jewelry and kept what I liked, which was very little as I am not into that sort of thing, and put aside some for my sister and my brother's daughter. I liquidated the rest and put that into savings. I also put aside some of the bag's belts and watches for my siblings and their families. We can't fit the clothes, but those things are easier to swap around. I invited everyone over and gifted them the items, telling them I had found them while I was cleaning everything out and thought they might like to have them. Everyone was happy to get them, and there wasn't much bickering among the kids. They asked what else I found, and I explained the jewelry I kept in the clothing I was selling off. My brother got a weird look on his face and asked if I had found any money. I told him I had, but tried to downplay it as mostly change and loose bills. He asked to see the money, and I grabbed a giant water refill container I had started storing all the coins in. He told me that was a lot of coins and asked if I was going to use them for the laundromat since I left them all loose. I rolled my eyes because I have a washer/dryer set. I told him there was no point in cashing them in until I cleaned the whole house. He told me to let them know so we could all split that and the money I got from selling the clothing. When I asked why, he said, so we can split it. I asked him why I would split it when they all had gotten large cash inheritances, sentimental and expensive things, and some other things. I literally got the house, the problems, the cleanup, and the nice things I did find that I thought they might like. I handed over without being asked to. He told me I didn't have to be a greedy poop hole about it and to never mind. My sister gave me the side eye but didn't say anything, but I feel guilty for misleading how much I had actually found, even though it was all put towards making the house better. Update: my house already had outside cameras due to when I moved in and installed them, but I did go and add more to the property line inside the house in key spots and around the garage. I also put up no trespassing signs while I looked through companies that do proper fences. The property is just small enough I can swing the fence. I did change the locks as soon as I read the advice to do so. I hadn't thought about that since I worked from home. Mom also kept a spare hidden in a plant because my sister used to lose everything constantly, so I made sure to remove it and not replace it with a new one. It's a good thing I did all of this, because 2 days after my initial post, I had to run into town for groceries and a few quick errands. I live on the outskirts with neighbors a bit of a distance either way, so they wouldn't notice anyone stopping by. I got a notification on my phone about movement, and I checked because I wasn't expecting any packages. My brother was getting out of his car, looked around, and checked the windows. He tried his key in the door and got upset. It didn't work. He checked the flower plant and kicked it over. The cameras around the house let me communicate, so I just said, "That was rude," to the speaker. He jumped and spun around to see nothing. I asked him what he wanted, and he demanded to know why I put up cameras. I said, because I'm a single woman living in the woods. Yeah, dumb poop. He shifted from foot to foot before saying he would be back so we could talk, and he left. I messaged the video evidence of him trying to get in while I wasn't home to him, his wife, my sister, and her fiancé. With the message I sent, I changed the locks because I don't know who Mom gave them out to, like her friends, and I have cameras. Because of this attempt to get in while I'm not home, no one will be getting the new key. I don't just randomly try to get into your house when you're not home. He sent me a lot of nasty texts after that, trying to shame me for doing that. I told him he shouldn't be doing things he doesn't want others to know about, and that it's a reflection on him, not me. He told me I was a beach and blocked me. My sister thinks I went too far by telling his wife because she is threatening to take the kids to her mom's, and she thinks I went too far by showing her fiancé because now he doesn't want him to have keys to theirs for emergencies. Somehow, I get the feeling this isn't over yet. Time to adopt a very big dog. Update. I am adopting a bonded pair of doggos from my local shelter. I did start a paper trail with both the police and a lawyer, who was a family friend. I documented the attempted break-in, didn't press charges but had them speak with my brother and have him put on notice. He ended up getting new phone numbers. Yes, with an S, to contact me to berate me and shame me for sicking those pigs on him. I took all of those messages to the lawyer and sent off a few things. A cease and desist for the alarming numbers of calls, texts, social media DMs, and emails he sent me. Some were full of rage about how I took his kids from him, and the others were about how he knew you rat beach found money in the house. My sister Brittany asked me out to coffee and apologized for taking Nason's side. She just didn't want the friction and thought the three of us could have worked it out together instead of getting others involved. She and her fiancé have the understanding that he handles his family and she does hers, I guess, for like disputes and things. So by sending it to him before she had a chance to even react to it, it felt like overstepping because I didn't give her the chance to do literally anything before her. Fiancé was losing his mind. I did apologize because I hadn't thought of it like that. I asked her what she would have done if I had just sent her the video, and she said she would have sat on it for like a day to think about it, and then probably would have asked me for more information or talked to him to see what the hell he was thinking. She also said I was a effing moron for saying the gifts I had given everyone had been from the house. I should have said something about a bonus at work or something. I have no reason to trust her, but it makes sense, so I am going to cautiously keep in mind that she does have a harder time getting thoughts and emotions across in a normal way. All this said, I found something really weird, and I don't want to open it. In the basement, tucked far into a corner and buried behind a bookshelf and under boxes and boxes and boxes of things, is an ancient-looking freezer. It was, and still is, plugged in. It's running. It was buried in dusty in a way that I knew there was no edible food inside of it. But you ever get that feeling that something just isn't right? Do I open it? Do I pretend I never saw it? Do I have someone else open it? Any ideas about why it was hidden? My one friend joked it was my grandfather's game box and it has decades-old deer inside of it. Is that a thing?